Come onto your hands and knees. Spread your fingers apart as far as you can comfortably and have your pointer fingers pointing straight forward instead of turned in or turned out. The wrist creases will pretty much be parallel to the top of your yoga mat. Bring your knees back a couple inches, about 3 inches from where they were under your hips. Curl the toes under. On your inhale, lift, and on your exhale, push into the hands, sending the hips up and back. You'll want to try to push into your knuckles instead of the wrist to take some of the pressure off of the wrists. And really push into those wrists so that you can be in a straight line from the wrist all the way up to the hips instead of having an angle at the armpits. That might take a while for your shoulders to get open, but just bend the knees and push as much as you can go, making sure that you don't feel any pain. Okay, so we also want to make sure that the shoulders are wrapped. Okay, so instead of letting the shoulders come in, you're going to roll the shoulders away from each other and then kind of squeeze them into the joints. Okay, now notice how that made this part of my hand open up this way. So we're rolling the shoulders away, but then rolling this part of the arm in to keep the pointer finger knuckle especially heavy onto the mat. I'll show you this way. So instead of having the shoulders here, we'll bend the elbows, roll the elbows back, and straighten the arms. Okay, so again, the upper arms are rolling out, and then the forearms rolling in. So push, 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 roll the upper arms out, forearms roll in, keeping the pointer finger knuckles heavy. Okay, so moving up the body from there. Shoulders are engaged, which also activates the muscles on the side. So it'll keep these muscles nice and engaged as well. We want to make sure that we're engaging the core. So a lot of times people's back will be rounded here. So if you bend the knees, usually you can start to straighten the spine. Sometimes people will push so much that they actually arch the back this way. So you want to make sure either way that you're drawing the low abs or the low ribs in slightly, okay, to engage the core. So moving down from there, we've got the core engaged. We want to make sure that the pelvis is tilted forward because this is actually a forward fold. And it's also an inversion, a very gentle inversion where the heart is above the head. So you get all of the benefits of a gentle inversion as well. So this pose is really great for a lot of reasons. Okay, so I want to try to be at a 90-degree angle pretty much here, right at the hips. Okay, so again, if the knees need to be bent for now, that's fine. Eventually, maybe they'll straighten, but you want to make sure that the tailbone doesn't tuck under. You want to tilt the pelvis forward so you're lifting the tailbone up. Let the heels start to come down towards the ground. Okay, but just make sure that if you bring the heels towards the ground that you don't let the tailbone tuck under again. Okay, so if the knees are bent, you'll be able to tip the pelvis forward a little bit more. Eventually, maybe the legs can straighten. Knees should be parallel. Heels should be parallel, so feet aren't turning in or turning out. And feet are about 3 inches apart from each other. I hope that helped to demystify downward facing dog and will help you to master the pose. Namaste.